everybody sick. Yo, I said stop myself, I'm not myself. Headed into anything, knowing that I got myself. And all my enemies wishing that I shot myself. Dead, on the bed, clothes covered in red. Stop myself, I'm not myself. Headed into anything, knowing that I got myself. And all my enemies wishing that I shot myself. Dead.
What is up, everybody? It is Mike. I almost said Nick. Mike, Jay, and Phil. And we're about to recap UFC Saudi Arabia, the boys with Combat Sports today, going over today's card. And how y'all doing today?
Chilling, you know what I mean? It's pretty nice to have a nice early UFC card for once. Waking up at 9 a.m. Eastern for us, right?
Yeah. I had to get up early. I was at work late last night. Woke up at 8, came over to the boys, made a bunch of breakfast. It was a pretty decent day of fights.
Yeah, it was pretty solid. I mean, the first fight, I can't cap. Like, I freaking did not watch the first fight because, it's Jamal Pugs, Hamdi, heavyweight fight. You know how heavyweights fight go in the UFC nowadays. So that was kind of like, yeah, I'm just going to make coffee during this one and I'm going to come back. So what do you think about the first fight?
I saw Jamal Pogues posting on social media after the fight, kind of saying like, we all know that I won. I saw a lot of people on social media calling the fight a robbery. We kind of had an inclination that if it went to the decision and it was close at all, it would probably end up going to Hamdi. I don't think it was the worst decision in the world. He got outstruck in all 3 rounds. He did, cause some noticeable damage on the mouth of Jamal Pogues. He was controlling the octagon. It is what it is. It was a close fight. It wasn't the most entertaining, so you missed. It was a good one to miss, the coffee fight.
I'm kind of glad they put it first just to get it out the way, because this would have sucked like in between, like, you know what I'm saying, like a good fight, and then they would have had this fight. It would have just brought the energy down.
100%.
But the fight was, yeah. I miss old heavyweight fights, man.
And to be honest,
what do you think about the decision?
Well, we get into that, but I was just surprised that they even had this fight on a freaking live event. To be honest, like this is like your typical like Apex heavyweight fight. To be honest, and I mean I give them props. Like I'm happy that they put it as the first fight, just because you skip the first fight and then the rest is easy to watch. But the decision, I don't know. I seen a lot of people saying Jamal Pogues won. Is that true? Because like I said, I literally made a coffee during this fight.
Honestly, I felt like it wasn't a good fight at all. Like, I'm being completely honest. It wasn't a good fight. I think Jamal probably could have been a little bit more urgent. I know he was sticking him with some good jabs, but he wasn't doing much besides throwing a random leg kick here and there. It was just the same thing. Hamdi at least was a little more, on the front foot, keeping Jamal on the back foot and stuff like that. So it was just like, I mean, he wasn't as aggressive as you should have been if you wanted to, like, especially in a close decision like that. I would kind of lean towards the fighter who's, being more forward.
Yeah, for me, I think, like I said, on paper, Jamal Pogues outlanded Hamdi in each of the rounds, but like Jay said, Hamdi had more sense of urgency. He was, controlling the octagon. He was pushing forward. He was the more aggressive fighter. It was close. I wouldn't have been upset if it went to Pogues, but I don't think I would necessarily call it a robbery. It was close, and Pogues was backing up a lot. If I was Pogues' corner, I would tell him, walk this guy down. You're striking very well with him, but, I'm sure he'll look back and be a little bit disappointed.
Wasn't Hamdi coming off a suspension as well?
Yeah, he was suspended after the Dontel Mays fight, and I believe there was another short suspension after that for performance-enhancing drugs.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up.
Yeah,
I thought he was injured. He made it seem like in this post-fight speech, like he came back from injury or some shit. So I was like, damn, my man was injured? Then I'm like, wait, what?
How tall is Hamdi, to be honest?
I think he's 6'2", and Pogues is 6'3", if I'm not mistaken.
Dude, Hamdi looked like he's like 5'9".
Yeah, I didn't think Hamdi looked that big. He's just really wide.
He didn't look that tall.
Maybe I'm tripping.
Egyptian Greco-Roman wrestler. He is 6'2".
Wow. Honestly, I felt like he should have used his wrestling. He probably would have got a finish.
Yeah.
Honestly, because Jamal was poking him with some nice stiff jabs, but if he would have freaking capitalized on those jabs, maybe doubled it up, tripled it up, sneak into the hook or something. But it was just like the same fucking jab, leg kick. They were like trading leg kicks like the first round, I believe, and Hamdi was hitting him with some hard ones. But yeah, it's kind of hard. You got to be more aggressive in those kind of situations, especially like a close fight like that. I mean, I will always lean towards a dude that's, pushing forward. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, that is Pogue's second loss in his last 3 fights. His only win is against Thomas Peterson in his last 3, who just got knocked out later in the card. We'll talk about that. So he lost to Hamdi by split decision, and he's lost to Mick Parkins by split decision. He is 2-2 in the UFC. Only wins over Thomas Peterson and Josh Parisian. All his fights have gone to the scorecards. You think, all right, so usually it's 4 fights, if I'm correct, for Dana White Contender Series contract. So I don't think the UFC's like main priority is keeping Jamal Pugh. So you think this is probably his last fight with the promotion?
Yeah, it could be. He didn't put on the best performance. I mean, it depends what Dana White thinks. If Dana White, is like, Jamal, you should have won that fight, which I doubt it because it was close. But if Dana White has a feeling that Pogues might have gotten robbed on the scorecards, they might give him another one. But I wouldn't hold my breath.
I mean, Jamal Pogues got onto the Contender Series for freaking singing, so maybe he needs to sing him another song, crying on camera again, So maybe he can do that again, but maybe it won't trick Dana this time. I don't know, man. And
I just feel like with heavyweights, you got to be a heavy hitter, bro. Like, got to be a heavy hitter. Like, even if those 2 wins that he had were like, beautiful knockouts, he probably would have like, another shot. But like split decision wins and everything's like decision. Yeah, I don't know.
They're looking for the next guy at heavyweight, and they're getting pretty desperate, especially with Curtis Blades getting ranked against a fighter. I think he's making his debut, so they're pretty desperate heavyweights. And I don't think they really want guys like Jamal Pogues. No disrespect to him, but just stylistically, this is what fans don't want to see. So Hamdi gets the win. He's back from his suspension. What is he, 6-0 at the moment, if I'm correct? He is actually not lying. He's actually 4-0. So they might try to build him up, I guess, but we'll see what happens. But we'll move on to the next fight. Bogdan Grad versus Lucas Alexander. What do you guys think about this fight? I'll go Mike.
Lucas Alexander, he doesn't have the dog, man. He doesn't have the dog required. The intangibles aren't there for him. I mean, he was looking slick on the feet. His takedown defense was holding up in round 1. It looked like from what I saw in round 1, I was like, okay, he's, kind of what I had suspected in the breakdown. He's about to outclass him on the feet and, try to maintain distance, strike from range, and possibly find a finish. And I was feeling confident about that after round 1. And, he just folds under pressure. Bogdan Grad did the same shit he did in the first round. Just keep moving forward, trying to get close, close the distance. And he was able to do that when the fight got to the ground. Found himself in a mounted position, and Lucas Alexander gave up. Honestly, not to be, a dick or anything to Lucas Alexander, but I mean, there was no sense of urgency to get up. He was kind of just covering up, and I was a bit disappointed. He's gotten chinned in the past, but I thought he was. I thought it would be. How do I want to say it? I don't know. Not that I was discounting Bogdan Grad. I think he's tough. He's tough as nails. We saw it on Dana White's Contender Series, but Lucas Alexander folded under pressure, and Bogdan Grad, he faced adversity and he surpassed his octagon debut. I was impressed.
What about you, Jay?
Like I think Lucas looked very, very good in the first round. Like, he was piecing this dude up. I'm like, this Bogdan dude, I didn't think he was gonna make it. Second round, I thought he was gonna be finished. And then, as Mike said, like, this dude has the fucking dog in him, bro. Like, he just kept going and going and going, and Lucas just folded under pressure, man. And like I said, once he got to the ground, I knew he was cooked. I'm like, yeah, he's done. Like, he's done. And it showed. I mean, it kind of sucks because you could tell he's really good on the feet. Like, he's really, really good. But I think Paul Felder said that's the good thing about MMA. Like, it's just more than having good technique. You need that heart, you need that dog, all these extra things that they don't teach in the gym, So I mean, shout out to Bogdan. I thought he did hard. I still think he looked trash. to be honest.
Yeah, I thought he was exciting, to be honest. I had a good time watching him. I mean, especially after this fight with Michael Aswell, I was kind of like, kind of locked into like, see what he can do,
Yeah.
Shout out to the homie Nick. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
shout out to Calf Kick Sports. Shout out to Tim Wheaton over there. I was just on with him earlier, so appreciate that.
That's my guy right there.
And shout out to the City Light Project. Isha, we love you. We don't hate you, brother. We love you.
Isha, we love you, Isha.
Captain Rufucho. What's good, my brother? Yeah. Bogdan's fun. I liked him ever since he had that amazing fight with Michael Aswell, who I think should be in the UFC as well. So Bogdan, impressive UFC debut. And Lucas Alexander, man, he lost 3 at his last 4.
Bro, that's the chopping block. He missed weight.
That's the chopping block.
2.5 pounds. He missed 2 fights in a row now, if I'm not mistaken. He just missed weight twice in a row, got starched by Jekka, and then he goes out and gets finished again and shows no will to get up when the fight got difficult. So as many skills as he has, I don't think he has what it takes in the UFC.
Pack him up.
Pack it up, brother.
I would have cut him right after they read out the decision. Like, get the fuck out of here. Find your way back home.
Move on to the next fight. Jasmine Jasudavicius versus Maya Bueno Silva. Mike?
I'm sorry, I don't want to cut nobody up. What? Like, this girl fought for a title, bro. At a higher weight class.
Look, let's be honest.
I don't even get women's MMA sometimes, dude. Like, I don't even know anymore.
She got the title shot because there was nobody else there at bantamweight. Because Amanda Nunes left, and then she was talking shit. So, hey, shout out to the homies. Isha.
Yo.
Shout out CSC. Oh, Canada. Fimo Kabika. Hey, that's the first donation, man. I don't know where it goes to. I don't think I set up my PayPal account or anything like that. So
what? There was a super chat?
Not a super chat. I think it was a sticker. I don't know what it is. Just super chat.
That's fire, dude. I can't see if there is anything else on there on my end, but Jasmine's wrestling is elite, man. And one thing I like to see, dude, I've made a lot of money betting on Jasmine Jasudavicius, and she's been an underdog a lot. And coming out into this fight, minus 260 favorite. We lean Jasmine in this fight, of course, but with what we've seen from Maya Bueno Silva, she was able to finish Holly Holm, and even though Holly Holm was old, I rate that win very highly, and she's coming down in weight. You think, she's gonna have a bit of a size advantage when she gets into this fight, and Jasmine Jasudavicius played into the game that Maya Bueno Silva wanted to be involved in, because obviously Jaz's path to victory is wrestle. And she wasn't deterred by the threat of Maya Bueno Silva's jiu-jitsu. She found herself in a pretty deep guillotine attempt in round 1. And after that, it seemed like Maya Bueno Silva had nothing to offer. She was, trying a couple of cheeky things off her back. But Jaz is the truth, man. I believe she's 35 or 36 years old now. But I feel like, this is now or never for Jaz. And I think they need to, move her up as quickly as possible. And, oh my God, the dog. Move her up as quickly as possible, because I think she could actually, potentially threaten for a title at some point, if not be in a, title contender bout. Yeah, she is tough.
Yeah, she did very well.
Yeah,
I'm not even mad about her performance. I think she's exactly what she was supposed to do, and she did it. Bueno Silva, I was just like confused, because I felt like, as far as competition wise, Bueno had the better resume, I don't know, dude. It was just, and then once her arms were gassed, it just looked bad.
The thing with Bueno Silva too, she really got projected into the title shot, because, like I said, there was nothing else left. Like, at that point, they were just like, say, fuck it, let's just put her in a title fight, because she did fail her post-fight drug test, I believe, with Holly Holm. So she was like probably one of the first. I think she might have been the first fighter to get a title shot after a no contest. So her last 4 fights, for Maya Bueno Silva was no contest against Holly Holm, decision loss against Raquel Pennington, Macy Chazone lost to that huge cut. You remember that huge cut that she got?
Yeah, she was winning that fight too. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
And then Jasmine Jasudavicius beat her tonight, so at flyweight. So, I mean, she's kind of going downhill.
It's looking kind of slow, but what do you do with women's MMA, right? Like, you don't really have that many.
She's no Rory, but she'll do. Canada's back on the map. Look, anything for Canadian MMA. If you guys need somebody, Jasmine Jasudavicius is the girl.
Stay vicious. She's the shining star of Canada, man, and she's fun. She's willing to take some shots on the feet in order to get the fight where she wants to, and I think even at her age, I think she has a high ceiling.
And for Silva, it might be on a chopping block to be honest, because like if she would have stayed at bantamweight, she probably has more of a chance. But I mean, she could move back up. But that's 3 straight losses. She hasn't won a fight that wasn't overturned since 2023 when she beat Lena Landsberg, who's not even in the UFC no more. So
shit.
They could use her to build up a young fighter. So, if there's somebody that they're looking to propel forward with, at least somewhat name
Like
recognition in Bueno Silva, former title
like
challenger.
a Neil Magny type of thing, right?
Yeah.
Hey man, I see Bueno Silva either the GFL or the PFL, so it is what it is. One of those leagues. It'd be sick if a Victor can pick her up.
Don't mention GFL until they have their first event, because that
You're
thing
right.
might not even happen.
We just getting AI videos at this point for content.
We might get AI fights. Who knows?
Dude, imagine that, dude. All right, next one. Let's go to Terrence McKinney versus Damir Hazovic. To be honest, like I knew T-Rec was going to come out hot, so he always comes out hot every fight. He's going to get killed or be killed, So, yeah. And this time he got the job done. So, what do you guys think about this one?
He said Terrence McKinney or Terrence McChinney. How about Terrence McWinney? He definitely needed his win. We were talking about it in the group chat. Win or lose, bro. I mean, you really got to win this fight against a 38-year-old who hasn't fought in over 2 years. It's a must win. But from an entertainment standpoint, bro, even my casual homies, they're like, "Oh fuck, I love Terrence McKinney." It's like, yeah, bro, because he's either going to go out there and do something violent or have something violent done to him, and it's not going to take long for it to happen. So I'm a big fan of Terrence McKinney. I'm happy to see him back in the win column. Plain and simple, he went out there and he does what he always does. Kill or be killed, and he killed today. So I'm happy that he's back in the win column.
Sorry. I don't know if this sounds disrespectful, but he fights how I want UFC heavyweights to fight. Like, dude, go out there in the first round and fucking kill each other, right? Like,
for real, bro.
I mean, I love him. I love his style. I do feel like he should work on that chin, like keep that chin tucked, because the way how he throws punches. I mean, I understand why he gets knocked out the times that he has, but yeah, I mean, I love his like just forward attitude.
Yeah, to be honest, like Damir, I was surprised he's still in the UFC when I see his name. Like, he's still in the fucking UFC. Like, I remember Renato de Moicano did him dirty.
I was just about to say that.
Moicano did him dirty.
So what you submitted me?
He's like, bro, Moicano's like, bro, I wish we could have gone all the way, all 3 rounds. And he's like, why'd you submit me then? And I was just, that was definitely a meme moment. But yeah, good win for Terrence McKinney. It was good to show. I mean, he's still a little aggressive in the first round. Got to tuck his chin a little bit more, but I'm glad to see him in the win column. Always exciting, always good on the main card.
Yeah.
Always somebody, good to have on your roster. So I don't know where he goes from now. So maybe you give him a layup, I guess, or you match him up with a rising prospect. So, hey, shout out to the homie Rome dropping a $4.99 super chat.
Go.
We done with Terrence and Big 2025 WWE UFC TKO group. Shout out to the homie Rome. He's from CST as well, so if anybody doesn't know. But we got big things coming up. Me and Rome talked a little bit. Well, hopefully we get things going. But yeah, we done with Terrence and Big 20. We done with Terrence and Big 2025. I don't know about that, man. I like to keep him on the cards for entertainment value.
Yeah, but he might be around until it gets too bad. I think he's going to be around for the foreseeable future. He's exactly what Dana White wants in a fighter. Probably not going to be a title contender, but he's going to bring the fight every single time.
Yeah, I always thought he'll be one of those guys that would get cut from the UFC, somehow end up in the PFL tournament and kind of make a name for himself again. Like, I just felt like he was one of those guys. Like, he get cut, he'll get humbled, and then come back. But they're still keeping him around, so.
He's just too willing to step in on short notice, fight a killer. He's willing to do whatever. So I know they like that over here.
Okay, let's move on to the next fight. Yo, I want to give a quick shout out to Jay because he was like, yo, we need heavyweights to do first round knockouts again. And this one delivered. Shamil Gazayev knocks out Thomas Peterson in the first round. All right, Jay. What do you think, my boy?
Dude, it was beautiful, man. This is what we need to see in heavyweight MMA. I'm tired of this point fighting shit,
Yes, sir.
going for takedowns and shit. Like, why you
Talk-
being smart? Why you fighting a smart fight? This is heavyweight MMA, all right? You go out there, you bite down on your mouth guard, and you fucking throw bombs, right? And I was just glad to see a knockout because honestly, I thought the way how this fight ended was how the next heavyweight fight we're gonna speak about was supposed to end, and that didn't happen. So I'm glad at least we got a heavyweight first round knockout like we supposed to.
Right. Yeah. I like Shamil Gaziev, man. He said it in his post fight speech. He was like, I hurt my hand in the last fight. That's kind of why I went to a decision. But when I'm out here healthy, I'm gonna try to finish it in the first round every time. And just like Jay said, that's exactly what I want to see from heavyweights. You got one hitter quitter power. You're big for no reason. Go out there and toss them things. And it took me by surprise, kind of, because it was starting off a little slow. Thomas Peterson was getting a little jab in. I'm like, okay, all right, we're gonna have a little back and forth, and then boom, my homeboy got up to get a drink. Immediately, one shot, walk off knockout for Shamil Gaziev. You love to see it.
Shout out to Jay for walking off the screen. He got dad duties, you know what I mean?
You know how it goes.
Shout out to my homie Blaine Henry from the Fight Library. That's the homie, man. I love this page. If you guys are seeing this, please subscribe to his channel. Blaine Henry's The Fight Library. He breaks down everything, man. That's what I love about his page. He'll do the most random combat sports in the world. Like, I remember he did something on Senegalese wrestling. He's done a little bit of sumo. He's done boxing. He's done MMA. Anything. So shout out to the homie Blaine. I love you, bro. Shout out LSU too.
Hey.
Shout out to Rome. Hashtag on him weight. If you know, you know. That is the inside joke, if you guys know.
No, leave me alone.
Blaine is funny as AF. As fuck. But yes, Blaine's the man. I love you, man. Love you too, Rome. Let's go on to the next fight. Muhammad Naimov versus Khan Olfi? Is that how you pronounce it?
Hopefully, yeah.
So Muhammad Naimov gets the unanimous decision win. Minus 340 favorite. What do you think? I actually missed this fight, so you guys are gonna have to tell me. So Mike?
Khan Hopefully, man, he was I had Muhammad Naimov as a lock. I mean, the odds, is what a lock can be. Very confident pick. I thought he was going to be able to find a finish. Khan Hopefully, as you can see if you watch the fight, he is clearly a very strong guy. And there was a lot of time where he would just kind of get double underhooks and lock his hands and just hold Naimov against the fence. And that, I don't know what his game plan was there, because very rarely he would try to, slip in a trip. And a lot of the time he was just standing there holding him, and Naimov couldn't do anything. So I can't really blame Hopefully too much for that. But Muhammad Naimov, he did good work. He showed a well-rounded skill set. His striking looked clean. He was able to get some grappling in and some wrestling. He showed some takedown defense as well. I would have liked for him to, towards the end of the fight, have been more urgent. He knew he was up on the cards, but I don't think he was in any danger. I don't know if he thought he was in danger, but I felt like he could have opened up a little bit more and found a finish. Outside of that, it was a good performance from Naimov. And like I said, we like to bet on Naimov because he's willing to fight for your money. He's willing to do whatever it takes, even if that means cheating. Muhammad Naimov is he's trying to win. So, yeah, I don't know what they're going to do with Khan Hopefully. He's 0-2 now, got knocked out by Myron Santos. Kind of was stalling his way to a unanimous decision loss against Naimov. I don't want to be hard on him, but Naimov looked, he looked good for sure. I wish he would have went for the finish more. That's all, but he looked good.
So not the most exciting fight we can really talk about.
Nah.
Hey, it was. I mean, I was just confused by Khan's game plan because I wasn't really sure. Like, okay, you got him against the fence. You got the double underhooks, deep double underhook. This dude had this guy's arms like all the way up here and didn't do nothing. His attempts at the trips were like, they weren't really, it was kind of half-assed. I don't know. I was confused, honestly. He even rocked Muhammad bad. The dude was wobbly and he just didn't even pressure forward. He just waited. He just took a step back instead of like jumping on him. So I was just confused, and he just kept going to the body lock, and I was just like, dude, I feel like that game plan should have been out the window already because obviously whatever you're trying to achieve it's not working. But he just kept going, and I was just, whatever.
So I'm reading over here that Khan was on The Ultimate Fighter season 32. Anybody, you guys know anything about that, or you just
I know he
yeah,
was on it, but I didn't watch that. I haven't watched the Ultimate Fighter season in a long time. So
yeah? I
Yeah, the
wouldn't even tell
last
you who.
one.
I couldn't even tell you who came off from The Ultimate Fighter.
yeah,
Last one I watched was the season with Brian Battle, which was fire. I haven't kept up since. I don't remember who the last coaches were. Pena and Nunez, I think. Maybe that was the season.
dude, I don't even know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Ever since they came out with the Contender Series, I was like, I'm done with the Ultimate Fighter.
yeah,
I don't
Khan's
even go
coming
watch that
off
type anymore.
back-to-back losses in his UFC fights. I mean, he's 2-0 in The Ultimate Fighter, but he's 0-2 in the UFC itself.
Yeah, so
And well, Naimov is this is his fifth fight, so he is 4-1. He has a big backing behind him with Tajikistan. So his last loss was his last fight actually. So he bounced back in the win column against after his loss to Felipe Lima, which I think when Lima showed up, it was a short notice fight too as well. So
Mhm.
yeah,
I
yeah,
could
uh,
see I could see Muhammad Naimov getting Alex Caceres next. That would be a fight that I
mm,
would like. Just because Alex Caceres is kind of, if he's not ranked at the moment, he's just outside of the rankings. It's a solid test for Naimov to try to get to the next level. I think he's a big featherweight. He's a solid prospect. He's pretty
yeah.
good.
yeah, so Naimov, he's gonna stick around with the UFC obviously. And then Khan, I think he's on a chopping block. Like I said, he's 0-2 in the UFC. I really see him being around.
Like
Doesn't look too
it
impressive
would
in
have
his
been
fights.
it would have been good if he had like an exciting fight. Maybe they'll probably like, he had a good fight, whatever, give him another chance. But that performance, no, I wouldn't, to be honest.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the next fight, which is the opener from the main card. Faraz Ziam versus Mike Davis. So Faraz gets the unanimous decision win over Mike Davis. And Mike Davis is usually known to having like one fight per year, if I'm correct. So what do you guys think about this fight? Like Faraz looked pretty solid, 30-27 across all
Bro,
boards.
he beat the shit out of Mike Davis. Bro, I'm so mad, bro. When it got down to it, because I'm like, I know how everyone holds Mike Davis in such high regard, and on our breakdown, I talked about how I just have a feeling for Ziam, he's going to go out there and win the fight. Uh, when I saw him fight against Terrence McKinney, it is what it is. Terrence McKinney can finish a lot of people in the first round, and he finished Ziam. But then you come back after the Claudio Puelles fight and then the Matt Favola fight, he is like significantly improving, like leaps and bounds each fight. And I had an inclination that there was going to be more massive improvements. And he goes out there against an insanely athletic wrestler, striker, grappler, a very well rounded fighter. And yeah, he went out there. Obviously, he was having his own success on the feet. He caused a lot of noticeable damage, and then he went and out grappled Mike Davis. And honestly, he beat the shit out of him for 3 rounds.
Yeah,
It was impressive. For
Yeah,
not getting a finish, he did everything he could do, and a unanimous decision victory.
dude, that
like
was
when,
five. Sorry, you go, Jay.
yeah, you go ahead, bro.
As I was gonna say, for us, that's 5 straight wins. And funny enough, the last loss he had was to Terrence McKinney, surprisingly, first round rear naked choke. So he's been improving ever since his last loss, and he's 7-2 in the UFC. So it might be time for him maybe to get at least a top 15 opponent, maybe somewhere around 13 to 15. So that's good for him. He's been improving, but he did beat Mike Davis. So Mike Davis is probably the most least active UFC fighter right now. I mean, he's fight at least once per year. So he's fought once in 2024, he's fought once in 2022, once in 2021, and once in 2019.
Hmm.
So this guy's always coming off like an injury or something. So maybe like a Grant Dawson type of fight or
For
somebody else
Ziam,
that's yeah.
you know who I want Ziam to fight?
Who?
Drew Dober.
Drew.
Oh,
And he
yeah.
mentioned it.
That'd be a
Ziam
banger
mentioned it
too.
because he got cut at the end of the fight against Mike Davis, and he was like, "Oh, this is the first time I've been cut in the UFC." He's an incredible striker, and give him a guy who's durable, who throws bombs, and see how he handles that. Because he handled the tenacious wrestler very well, and he outgrappled him. I want to see how he goes up against a power hitter, and Drew Dober, a guy like Drew Dober. He already fought Matt Favola, who beat Drew Dober, but MMA math don't work, and Drew
Exactly.
Dober is very dangerous.
We got
I was
232 viewers right now. What's up,
I was
guys?
just I was just gonna say how, I MMA math really does not makes no sense. Like you get knocked out by Terrence McKinney. McKinney starts getting knocked out like crazy. You on a fight win streak. Like it don't even matter who you lose to at this point in MMA, honestly, because it's crazy. I mean,
That's what
I
I love.
enjoyed the fight a lot. I really enjoyed the fight. Mike Davis, I was surprised that he pulled guard so early in the first round. So I was just like, okay, maybe he probably doesn't feel too comfortable on the feet for us. So obviously he didn't because this dude was piecing this motherfucker up.
Mhm.
But when he went down, I think he had like a straight arm lock or something like that, I believe. And I was like, oh shit, he's about to pull some fancy stuff on this motherfucker, right? Because for us, his arms are pretty long. But yeah, after that, I was just like, the takedowns were like half-ass takedowns that he was doing, so it was kind of confusing. He even got taken down by Siam. I was like, holy shit! I think somebody tweeted like, if you get taken down by a Frenchman, that's embarrassing. So I thought that was funny, but I mean, he showed. I mean, like I said, leaps and bounds from his last fight.
Dude, he could be the truth, man. And if he keeps improving the way that we've seen, like, bruh, I mean, he impressed the fuck out of me. I was shocked. I mean,
Yeah.
I had a feeling he would win, but I thought it was going to be via takedown defense and striking. And then the whole time he just turns up and starts out grappling Mike Davis. And I mean, you see Mike Davis's build; he looks like a grappler versus a tall,
Yeah.
skinny striker. And he just went out there and looked stronger than him.
Davis, I thought Davis almost hit him with the Mighty Mouse when he had his back and he threw him in the air and then he took his back right away. I thought that was pretty dope. But yeah, I mean, he did really, really good, really, really good. I could honestly, I feel like he could have finished Mike on the feet if he would have kept it there. But I mean, because he was sound sure it was all MMA game, so it worked out.
Yeah.
So can we agree that Faraz deserves at least a top 20 opponent?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, hell yeah.
All right. Let's
Hell
move
yeah.
on to the next one then. We got Said Nurmagomedov versus Vinicius Loke Dog Oliveira. So a couple of days ago, these boys were playing table tennis with each other. So I thought maybe, Said kind of fucked up. We should just smack them with the stick instead. Put a little advantage on him. But yeah, Loke Dog, big win for him, huh? Especially in Saudi Arabia, because you never know with them judges in my favor.
Oh, hell yeah.
I thought they were going to rob him.
You think so? I thought so too, because I was texting homeboy because he was like, "Yo, I got Said Nurmagomedov." I was like, "Yeah, you might get that because of the judges in because they're in Saudi, so they might favor some certain fighters." But Loke Dog got it done.
I thought it was the sloppiest bantamweight fight I've ever seen in my life.
Think so? To be honest,
only because lighter weight classes, I tend to feel like they're more technical. As far as you get heavier up in the weight class,
yeah,
I don't know. That shit was disgusting, bro. It was a good fight, but like technique was out the window. Vinicius was loading up with punches. I think his rib was hurting or something like that. He mentioned post fight thing, but I mean it was very, very sloppy. And I'm glad he won though.
I always feel like Said Nurmagomedov's fights are always kind of sloppy, to be honest.
It's because he has these like fast twitch, explosive moves. He throws insane kicks from all different types of angles. He gives a lot of good looks, and I feel like those movements, are very taxing on his body. And we've seen him get tired in the past. It's not new to see Said Nurmagomedov start to fade as the fight goes on, and they were saying on the commentary, Vinicius Oliveira wanted to try to get him tired. And after round 2, I was hanging out with my boys upstairs, and I was like, see, this is where dog comes in. Because at the end of round 2, they were both gassed out. And I was like, we're going to find out who has more dog in them. And Vinicius Oliveira was able to start bullying him a little bit at the end, even though you could tell he barely had anything left either. He was just able to, power through and get it done. And then his call out, bro, he said, all right, I already got Said Nurmagomedov. Let me get Umar Nurmagomedov. And I thought that was a badass call out, dude.
Gangster.
Dude, Vinicius Oliveira is like, he's coming up. Like, to be honest, like, he looked good in his contender fight, right? He had that first round knockout with on Dana White's Contender Series in 2023, and then he had that nasty freaking flying knee with Bernardo Sopai.
Ooh, yeah.
Beat Ricky Simone, who was a former top 15 opponent. Then now he beats a Nurmagomedov to his name. So he's got names on his resume now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think he deserves a top 15 opponent at this point right now.
Shit, I say top 10, bro.
Top 10.
Yeah.
Who knows, man? Like a lot of people behind paying tablet, I think we need to be behind Vinicius Oliveira in the 135 division.
What part of Russia is Saeed from?
Dagestan.
Dagestan, I think. He
Dagestan.
trains
I
out
mean,
of
look at his
Mahaska,
last
I
name.
believe.
It kind of gives it away, to be honest.
I don't know, but he doesn't fight like a Dagestani, which is weird, you know?
Dude, it's
Hey,
crazy because the John Gooden, I believe, the English commentator
Yeah,
today,
yeah.
bro, he's straight up because he fights out of a different gym than Abdulmanov's, and he was like, yeah, he fights out of the same gym as Khabib and them, and I was like, bro, what? Did I hear that correctly? He does not, and you can tell by the way he fights, he does not train at that same
Exactly. I
gym.
was like, this dude does not train with these guys because that's not their style. Even was it Umar? Because he has a lot of kicks, you know, and stuff like that. But even him, like, nah, I was like, what the hell? He almost had like a Zabit type of style,
Yeah,
you know?
100%.
man, not everybody trains the same in Dagestan. You got Khabib's team. You already know how they fight. You know how they get down. But
Yeah.
so I mean, there's gonna be outliers that obviously guys like Saeed, Zabit. I think Zabit's brother's the same way too. So I'm not too sure. But yeah,
Yeah.
good win for Vinicius Oliveira. Like you said, he could get a crack at the top 15 or the top 10. I don't know if you guys. I mean, Mike, since you said it, who do you think that Vinicius should be getting a crack at in the top 15 or top 10?
I mean, someone who makes sense right off the bat would be Jonathan Martinez. He had a close decision win against Said Nurmagomedov. You know,
Well, his
give him
issue.
Jonathan
Let me cut you off. Yeah, he said John Martinez is not even top 15 no more.
Oh, well, then in that case,
I mean,
you
I
think
can name the guys for you right now. I'm looking.
yeah,
at
yeah.
it right
Give me
now.
the names from 5 to 10.
5 to 10. Figgy, Cheeto, Cejudo, Song, Font, and Batista. But here's 11 to 15, which is Jose Aldo, Kyler Phillips, I can't say his name. The guy that looks like Ariel Hawani.
Ayman Zahabi.
Ayman Sahabi. Yeah, there we go. Marcus McGee and then Montel Jackson.
I didn't even know he was ranked.
Yeah, he had a big. Who would he beat to get into the top 15?
The Basharat brother, Javid.
Yeah, there was one more though.
Yeah.
There was it just the Basharat brothers? I think he beat a top 15
smoked
guy.
him.
Oh, he beat Pedro Munoz to get in.
Yeah.
Damn, my boy Pedro.
I don't think Sahabi has a fight.
Yeah, so does Font, so does Song.
Yeah.
But Kyler Phillips, man, he's coming off that loss. He's right outside of the top 10. Give him number 11, dynamic striker like Kyler Phillips, and see what happens. I honestly think Vinicius wins that fight.
Yeah, man. I actually like a lot of the matchups. I mean, we got Marcus McGee, Montel Jackson, Jose Aldo, Mario Batista. I mean, a lot of the top 10. A lot of the top 10 guys are booked right now. So the 11 to 15 is like probably his range. I feel like they'll give him Ayman Sahabi. You know, I think there's a Canada card coming up. So that's something, and it's been rumored in Montreal. So,
dude, I mean, depending if like the UFC is feeling really high on Vinicius Oliveira, just like after Bernardo Sopai debut, then they give you Ricky Simone, and then they give you Saeed. You go out and beat him. Call out Umar, who just lost. I mean, it's a small chance, but after Umar just lost the title, you know, I don't think he's getting an immediate rematch. He's going to be looking probably to fight top 5, but there's a world where if the UFC likes this guy enough, they give him a shot.
Yeah, so I like him a lot. So
definitely has a fan-friendly style as well. So
yeah,
I mean, how old is he right now? He is 29. So yeah, he's got time. So,
hell yeah,
5'9", Brazilian. Hey, we need some guys on the Brazil card. So this is somebody they should be building up right now. This is the bantamweight prospect. So we can agree top 10 to top 15, most likely top 15. Opponent next.
Yeah.
3.
I would like to see Kyler Phillips, bro. Now that I think about it.
That's a sick fight, and I'm with it. Next
Bless
fight.
You.
Thank you. Sergey Pavlovich versus Jairzinho Rozenstruik. Pavlovich, unanimous decision win. I think he's coming off. He's back in the win column after losing 2 straight against Volkov and Aspinall. So he's back in the win column. Biggie Boy loses another fight in the UFC. I felt like Pavlovich could really get this done and over with in the first round if he really wanted to, but I feel like he's been a little more conservative lately. In my opinion.
He got chinned by Aspinall quickly.
That's what happens when you get chinned, man.
And then he got smoked by Alex Volkov.
Yeah, that confidence just goes out the window. What happened to the division that I used to love, man?
Yeah, man. Jay, we know. We was talking about this, man. Durant, we already know. The boys know. Everybody knows.
What
It used to be
happened, bro?
the premier division to watch. Now it's just like the least fan friendly
Happened.
division.
Yeah, heavyweight divisions in shambles. Sergey Pavlovich, a bit of his mystique, because he was on that incredible streak of first round finishes with some solid names, and then, a lot of people were picking him to beat Aspinall. I was not one
Yeah.
of them, but I was actually surprised with how quickly it ended. And then me and Nick both were on Volkov in the last fight, and he absolutely picked him apart. And
Yep.
Pavlovich, I guess he needed to get his confidence back. I felt like he respected Jairzinho's power too much. I really feel like he could have just rushed him in the first round and got him out of there. And he knocked him down a few times. He didn't have that much of a sense of urgency. He was, using his, I guess, grappling. He would drop him and get on top of him. And, I wanted there to be more killer instinct that I remember from Sergey Pavlovich.
That's what I mentioned earlier. I'm like, I thought it was going to be a first round knockout. Sergey was going to just rush him, that nice little Russian blitz that he does, and just go to town on him. But I don't even know. I don't know in that first round, did he rock him or did
He fell. He slipped. So he threw and he slipped. But he did drop him in the next 2 rounds, if I'm not mistaken.
Hey, we got a little special guest here. Usually, I like to keep it 3, but like this man, we gotta have him on. Shout out to the homie Rome.
Yo, what up? Talk to me nice. What's up? Mama, I'm in the middle of something. We're talking about trash fighters right now.
He got that McDonald's mic, so whose order you taking?
What you need, bro? I got McChickens. I got cheeseburgers.
All right, Rome. How much of the card did you actually watch?
So I actually started watching around the Sergey Pavlovich Rosenstruck fight, just because daddy duties. But
Makes sense.
Yeah, that's when I started to watch it. I was able to catch. I mean, we can go into the next fight when y'all ready. I could talk about that one. I saw this one. Honestly, this one was gonna happen. I already knew this fight was gonna happen like this. Rosenstruck is just like a big man that just like looks the part. But you know how you lie on your resume and you get the job, and then when you get the job, you don't really know the job duties, so you don't do it well. That's kind of like Jairzinho Rosenstruck for me. Like some of his wins, like when he beat what's his name? Overeem. It was kind of like, yeah, bro, like it's like that project that the dude that didn't do nothing. The dude that didn't do nothing, the whole project pulled up the day of the presentation. That's kind of like what happened.
Yeah. I mean, Jairzinho,
I think he's undersized. I don't know.
That's what I was talking about in the calf kicks live streams. Like, we was talking about like Jairzinho, he might be 6'2", but he looks kind of small for being a heavy. Because a lot of
bro, put him at 85, but not even in 205. Put him at 85, and that's it. He could lose
He's
that
gonna be
weight.
Derek Cannonier,
bro.
Especially him being like 38 right now. I think.
God damn.
36.
I mean, yeah, and so is Cannonier. He's up there in age.
I don't know if Jairzinho. I don't know if he's gonna lose that weight though. He's like pretty set in at that. He looks. That's a serious project to get those pounds down.
Bro, if you put him in 205, he's probably a top 15 guy, not even top 10.
Yeah.
So
tough spot for Jairzinho, man. The heavyweight division is in disarray, and I think they're gonna probably. I mean, I don't think Jairzinho's job is at risk, but
keep it 100 though. Keep it 100.
Shambles. That division is in shambles.
But all jokes aside, how many years has the heavyweight division been like actually good?
Nah, it's
been a while.
I think it fell off right after COVID, I would believe.
Dude, back when we had like Mark Hunt and Roy Nelson, guys like that were just swanging and banging. I used to love it, man. I mean, it's still fun, certain fights, certain matchups.
Yeah, I mean, well, if you know what it is too, the sport has evolved so much that like, science is involved now and shit like that. Before you just, the guys that you mentioned, they're just fast, sloppy guys that just could hit really hard and knock you out. So that's why it was so fun. Now there's actually people with skill. So like, Tom Aspinall, even Sergey, like his boxing is crisp. You got guys like, although his record is always up and down. Curtis Blades, his wrestling. I got Volkov. It's weird. Right. Yeah, exactly. Like he lost to what's his name again? Curtis Blades, I just said it. And then like from there he was able to pick it back up. So it's weird now. Like this is the division where like the reason why we find it so boring is because actually people are actually they care about their skill set.
I think what the division is like there's really, really good guys and everybody else is just not on that level.
There's
it's
a drop off. It's a massive drop off.
It's crazy.
And also pointing out the American representation in heavyweight division is not so there. You know, you got guys that big, they want to play football, you know. So you got Jailton from Brazil, you got Tom Aspinall, English fighter, you got a bunch of foreign guys up in there, and then we got Curtis Blades, who's pretty good, but you know, he's been known to fall short as well. It's I'm excited to get another. The last big prospect we had in the heavyweight division was Robelis de Spain, and we saw how long that lasted.
Yo, what a failure, man!
Because he had no grappling. That's really what it is. I think he'll be back. To be honest, I think he'll be back in the UFC. I mean, at some point, you got to start bringing back some kind of like decent talent because the UFC, the heavyweight division, isn't the best. It hasn't. Honestly, the heavyweight division, it's never been the best. It's never been like, oh man, like this is the elite of the elite of the elite. It's just not what it is. It's heavyweight and then freaking light heavyweight. They've always been that way. I mean, light heavyweight, in my opinion, has had much better talent. Although that division, you know, regardless of who's the champion now or before, that division wasn't all like it was shit. And as time passed, it just got gradually worse, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think 2016 was the best like demonstration of heavyweight MMA because we had Stipe at the time, Verdun, Kane, JDS, Francis Ngannou on the rise, Derek Lewis when he just put
Overeem
still. You still had a Mark Hunt, Bigfoot stuff. I mean, those guys are obviously juice, but like besides Mark Hunt, because you know,
yo, bring back steroids. That's it.
I mean, at this point, like,
it's
so bad. Like
bro,
you go, Rob. You go. I know you got shit.
You put everybody on steroids, right? Because now at that point, it wouldn't even and people can be like, "Yo, this guy sounds dumb" or anything. But you put everybody on steroids, right? Now it's no longer who has the advantage in regarding like their performance enhancements because everybody's on drugs. Now it's literally if you lose, it's a skill issue.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
Hey, raise the limit to 300.
Oh, bullshit.
Like if you put JDS, right, a juiced up JDS versus Tom Aspinall, and JDS happens to win, like, is it really because of the PEDs, or just because JDS at that point in that fight was just a better fighter? There's a skill.
You turn sideways.
Facts. Because he wants to drive.
Yeah, he drove and his car like crashed sideways.
I agree. Heavyweight hasn't been that fun in a long time. And I really could not care less for it. Like when John Jones fought Stipe, I legit fell asleep. I was asleep that whole pay-per-view. I woke up, I think, like the second round of that fight, of the main event. I was like, oh, yeah, this is curtains. Like, he's fighting Stipe, who's old as hell, and I don't even want to see this.
Yeah, I think the majority of us knew just Stipe was going to lose that fight regardless. Like,
I had a little hope. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not gonna lie. I did have a little hope, but like it was just like not the hope to see him just win. Really, it's just like I just want to see some life into the heavyweight division. You know, something like to get us talking about it. Besides, other than Jones and Aspinall, but it is what it is. I mean, the heavyweight division's cooked.
Only reason why I didn't want Jones to win, I don't like to do that at all. But I know if he wins, the division is gonna be held up even longer.
Yeah, but even still, who do you even put against to be like, yo, man, that's gonna be a fire fight? Like, do you really want to see Tom Aspinall versus Cyril Gane?
I mean, why not? To be honest,
Cyril Gane just got a robbery victory over Volkov.
I want to see the belt get defended. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I mean, like, we think about it, right? Like, heavyweight's probably like the most popular division across all combat sports because you get the big boys. It has such a long history. You know what I mean? Like, you go back to the K1 heavyweight open Grand Prix, you go to boxing, though. Come on, Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, Elberg. And then you go to the UFC, where here's my thing about the UFC. They always fumbled the big heavyweight fights. Like, why didn't we get Brock and Fedor? Why didn't we get Jones and Ngannou? You know what I mean? Fedor and Randy Couture. It's just like we just miss out these opportunities. And then like here's the UFC doing it again with Jones and Aspinall. It's just like this is a big fight. Like people are saying, "Oh, Alex Pereira gets it." I get it because he's the bigger draw, but is he
Yeah.
really the best heavyweight? Because
Yeah,
he's a light
yeah.
heavyweight moving up. We just seen Jones dominate the light heavyweight division. Like, I just want to see Jones against the best heavyweight in that division. If it's not Ngannou, well, Aspinall has that right to be
Well,
because
let
he
me
has the
ask.
title.
So let me ask you a question, all right? So I'm thinking of. So I'm gonna play devil's advocate and look at it from the business perspective of like the whole
Of
operation.
course, yeah.
Do you think John Jones is worth $30 million? Are you gonna get a return on your investment?
Well, they got the. So the thing is, they got the bread. Like it's clear as
It's
day.
no
They have
doubt.
the money. They underpay most of the fighters. That's neither here nor there. But they have the capital to do it. If they want it to happen bad enough, if this is what the fans want to see, it'll probably do. I mean, you would think in terms of a pay-per-view standpoint, it's doing numbers, and I mean that's what everyone keeps talking about. At
I
this
don't
point,
think. I
it's
don't
getting.
agree. I don't know.
You
I don't
don't.
think
Well, here's
it.
the thing.
I don't think it does numbers the way we'd liked it. We'd like it to.
So
To be
here's the
honest.
thing. I think the UFC would want Aspinall to win, to be honest, because that way you get the
Yeah.
rematch, and then you can underpay Jones for the second one. Well, we're gonna make our money back in the second one.
I doubt he'll fight him again if he loses.
I don't know. Jones is too much of
I
a
think-
competitor, man. If
I
somebody
think
gets
Jones-
one up on him, he's gonna want that rematch bad.
I
and
think
he might
Jones
just win the
is-
rematch.
I think Jones is looking at this fight like a actual game of like poker or blackjack, right? Like you got to know when to hold and know when to fold, right? So if you fight Tom Aspinall and let's say there's that possibility that you lose, it's kind of like, yo, now like you said, the value would be less. So am I really going to want to risk another loss to the same guy? Let's say if I don't make, let's say he gets the 30 mil the first fight, right? And then he loses, like, y'all want a rematch, but I still want a lot of money. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
do you still like, is it gonna be one of those things that he's gonna be like, yo, I already just made 30 mil. Am I really gonna stress myself out to try to get another win back? Like, this isn't, John Jones is 36. He's about to be 37. He's getting older than he is younger. Tom Aspinall's younger. He's getting older, but he's on the trajectory of like, I still have time to go. With John Jones is on the trajectory of like, I'm tired. Like, I don't.
Jones could be 38. He might even be
As much
38.
money as I can.
Right.
That's
So
like
that's what I'm
average
saying.
heavyweight age.
Yeah, but at the same time, John Jones isn't really a heavyweight. Let's keep it 100.
Yeah.
But basically what I'm saying is like he's seeing this whole thing like a gamble, right? Like,
Yeah.
I could get 21 or the dealer could win. Now, if the dealer wins, do I really want to go ahead and play my card again? Or I could just leave with the capital that I just raised. You know what I mean? Like it all depends. It really. Would I want to see the fight again? No, the same way I don't want to see Alex versus Topuria again. It really comes down to like how bad he wants it, and I think Jones, doesn't really give a damn right now if he fights Aspinall or doesn't fight Aspinall, to be honest. So I don't know. I would like to see the fight just to like. I think Jones wins in my opinion. But other than that, I couldn't care less. I would like to see it, but I really couldn't care less if it happened or not.
Yeah, I mean, if Jones retires, then I'm cool with it, I guess. I'm not mad, to be honest, because, like, it is what it is. I mean, Jones retires, man, you had a great career. You became a 2-division champion, most title defenses in UFC history, never lost, like, despite Matt Hamilla's disqualification. But it's just my gripe is just, like, bro, we never get the biggest UFC heavyweight fights, and that's kind of, like, it kind of irritates me a lot, because, like I said, I want to see...
It's John Jones, honestly, if you really think about it. This is all the last two fights or the fights that's happening is because of John Jones, not because of the UFC. It's really not because of the UFC. Because John Jones, when Francis won, he was calling for that John Jones fight. And then guess what? Allegedly, Jones asked for a lot of money. And I get it. You're putting yourself at risk versus someone like Francis Ngannou who hits really hard.
Probably the hardest hitter in that division history.
Right. So I can understand the wanting for that need. But again, at the time, in my opinion, I don't think Jones is a draw the way that people think he is or people would like him to be. John Jones is just he's a legend, right? Yeah. You put all the controversy aside, he's a legend. But is he a draw like, damn, y'all really got to go see this John Jones fight? Like, oh, man, like I can't wait. You know what I mean? Like, no, to me, he's not. And I don't think he's worth the money that he's asking for.
Especially nowadays, like where this generation doesn't really know much about John Jones because he's so inactive nowadays. While it's like guys like McGregor, who's like the guys that's still drawing because he's so controversial. and a bunch of other things too. I mean, Conor McGregor is the biggest star in MMA history. There's no doubt about that. And Jones, I never thought he was like a superstar. Like, yeah, he has the respect and everything like that, but he was never like this mainstream level like superstar like Conor McGregor was, you know.
Yeah, we're talking about superstar level. Yeah, not even. He's not even like. He's a couple levels down.
You can argue Ronda
honestly,
Rousey was a bigger star.
Yeah, oh hell yeah.
The biggest star we got in the UFC right now, Alex Pereira. And
yes, sir, Alex Pereira, baby.
If he beats Magomed Ankalaev, bro,
he's gonna beat him, bro. That's it. He's gonna beat him.
Yeah, I think he's beating him. And if John Jones is still bullshitting and Poatan takes the dub over Magomed Ankalaev, fuck it. Give me Aspinall and Poatan. That's the biggest fight you can make in the heavyweight division.
And even if Alex doesn't win, to be honest, it does nothing. It does not leave a dent in his legacy at all. Because it's just kind of like we already expected that. We already expected that. But if he wins, it's like, oh shit, because he was already an underdog. And you already know how biased I am. But because he's an underdog, like it's like, oh shit, that would be lit. But the real in me, yes, John Jones isn't a star. That's not blasphemy. It's a fact. We could argue about that.
The only people that watch John Jones fight are the people who've been watching him fight.
Right. I've been young. Right.
You
like
know?
I started, yeah, exactly.
Well, we can say John Jones is a star, but he's not a superstar, if you know what I mean.
John Jones is a star within MMA. He's not a star outside of the sport.
He's not McGregor and Ronda Rousey above, like, you know, based on pay-per-view numbers, based on like everybody talking about him. Like nobody's acting like freaking John Jones outside the ring, outside the cage. Everybody does the McGregor thing, you know, talk like McGregor and everybody. My little brother knows McGregor more than John Jones.
I don't think
Conor McGregor had Steph Curry walking out like that.
Like that's the level of superstar.
I also don't think anybody wants to act like John Jones outside of the cage for obvious reasons.
Yeah, but people just do it on the down low.
I mean, look, man, I like John Jones. Okay, I like John Jones, the fighter.
Yeah.
Controversy aside, obviously, you know, you got to be able to, at least the way I try to see sports and all that, and athletes and stuff, and just celebrities, I try to separate their work versus the actual person. The actual person, he's not the best person. You know what I mean? I'm not a fan of him as a person. As a fighter and what he's done, amazing, great, legend. But yeah, he's not a draw. It's not like I've never heard him.
What is his pay-per-view like? What kind of stats is he putting up pay-per-view wise? Like
if we're talking about pay-per-views, I believe he might have cracked 1 million once or just got close to it.
And that's probably the DC fight.
Yeah, like whatever the best rivalries he's had, which is basically DC or Gustafsson, he's probably got close to 1 million. Well, I was like McGregor and Rousey, bro, they fucking snapped that shit.
Yeah, easily.
Bro, Khabib and Conor was 2.4 million buys. That is the second highest most bought pay-per-views in combat sports history. Number one is Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah,
2.6, I think.
And I think that, you know, I think it's okay. Like you don't have to be, you know, like John Jones is a legend, but he's not a star, and I think that's okay. You don't have to be a superstar. He's made all the money that he's made. You know, this is all subjective, right?
There's a lot of legends who weren't, you know, superstars. You know.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Like Anderson Silva was not a big superstar.
No.
In my eyes, he was just a star. Like GSP was maybe close because he's a superstar in Canada, but not really much in the US. See, my shout out to Get. That's actually my homie Terrence. He actually did the intro song for this pod or whatever. So this is the man that did the intro song with that worked with Faces video.
I think these people. So we have to be. So Nate Diaz is a star again within the sport. He's not a star. Like
I don't know. Also, like
let's superstars. What we're talking.
Yeah.
About.
Okay.
We're talking about superstar.
I
guess he's a star. He's a star, but he's not a superstar.
Yeah.
Like Jorge Masvidal is a star. Dustin Poirier, those guys are stars. You know what I mean? But they're not the levels that you go by.
Superstar level when a random person who never watches the sport knows you. That's when you start hitting superstar. Like my shorty don't watch MMA, but she knows Conor McGregor.
Popularity has to transcend sports.
Yeah, it's more than just from that sport. You know, it has to be. I mean, you see it.
Oh shit! Where'd the room go?
Ninth biggest UFC fight is Usman.
We
versus
went
Jorge.
off on a crazy tangent there.
Yeah, bro. We're supposed to be covering the card, but yeah, the ninth. Jorge is a star. He could be like borderline superstar, but like his L's really hurt him, so like that's why his numbers went down. I mean, you got to
But
keep winning.
that fight happened at the right time. That's when George stock was super high. You know,
And it was post COVID too. If you really think
Yeah.
it was like right after COVID, like the UFC started hosting fights again, so bringing crowds
Mhm.
again. So this is when the UFC decided to become mainstream, when they started to host fights during COVID, and
Yeah.
now these guys end up benefiting for being the
Everybody was just salivating for some kind of sports. You know, like we need sports.
shout out to Food, shout out to Get. Yeah, that's my homie. We've been boys since middle school. We were on the same middle school bus and everything. He's
Wow.
one of my close homies, man. Like I love you, bro.
Fire.
Appreciate you for all the support, man. Thank you for the song and everything. We always disagree a lot, but like doesn't mean that we can't still be friends. But
He ain't a star though.
he ain't a star though. Like nah, he ain't a superstar. Get it right. Like we gotta say
I love Nate Diaz, but that dude is a glorified bum. That's what I'm saying.
yeah, like dude, you can make anybody a star, to be honest. Like especially these days, like bro, you got guys like what's that streamer Neon, whatever. Like that dude's just like apparently famous. KSI or freaking just one of those guys. But since Rome is gone, we can get back to the fights.
Mhm.
All right, we can go into our co-main event. Let me pop that screen back up. Where we at? Shara Bullet versus MVP. So MVP was a close underdog in this fight, and a lot of people were saying, "Look, Shara is gonna whoop this man. He's gonna beat this welterweight's ass and everything." So Page moves up to 185 for a one-off, and he kind of just outclassed him in every single round. To be honest, 30-27 across all three judges' scorecards, if I'm correct.
Now,
So
one of them gave 29-28 on some bullshit because they're trying to, bro. This is the thing about betting fighting spreads, bro. Like they be doing that. Like it's clear as day, and you just hear 30-27, 30-27, and 29-28. Cook motherfuckers on the betting apps, and it's crazy. That's just a gripe I have with the fixation,
betting,
the fixing in
betting
sports.
gripes.
Yeah. That's why I tell people don't bet spreads, bro, because you could look at a fucking very clear. And I thought it was gonna happen in the Pavlovich fight as well. I was like, bro, watch him give fucking Jairzinho a round somehow, and that's what happened here.
Who gave Shara a round?
I can't remember. Probably fucking Sal D'Amato.
Yeah, you can never trust a guy named Sal.
Yeah, but
That's
MVP
his real name.
MVP he's tough, man, and he made Kevin Holland look like he shouldn't have been in the cage. He went on to fight Ian Gary, who in my opinion is the best fighter at welterweight. He showed it against Shavkat. He got a slow start, but he turned it up late, and to me he showed that he was the better fighter there. And he had Michael Venom Page had Ian Gary wrestling like. Michael Venom Page at the age of 37 was faster than Gary, more more explosive than Gary, and he made Ian Gary turn into a wrestler. And he's going up in a preferable stylistic matchup against Shar Magomedov, who is not that big of a middleweight. In my opinion, he's relatively undersized. And
It could be
so
a
Michael
welterweight,
Venom,
honestly.
yeah, for real. And he also has one eye. And a guy that's as fast as Michael Venom Page, and you're going to be at a one eye disadvantage against that.
Yeah.
And his style is already incredibly difficult to figure out. I thought Michael Venom Page might have been able to find a second or third round finish, but we did pick him this week on the breakdown, and it was for those reasons. He's fast, he's explosive, his style is incredibly difficult to figure out. I think Shar Magomedov had documented 3 total head strikes, even though I'm going to be honest, I didn't see any of them. He showed levels, man. He showed levels to Shara, and he took his O. So I'm super happy for the 37-year-old prospect. It's now or never for him, and I think that he could find, with the landscape of the welterweight division, he could find himself, in the mix here with another win or two.
Dude, this is why, like, I always believe, not all the best fighters fight for the UFC. Because I feel like if MVP was in the UFC earlier on, like, he would be top 5 easily. Like even when he was younger, even till now, like that dude's nasty, bro.
Could have been a
He's
champion.
nasty. Yeah.
Back to this old topic. I think Conor makes people feel it's so famous it makes people confuse what fame means. I've been to LA events and lines around the TikTok. I mean, of course, everybody's gonna take a picture with Jones. I mean, like, yeah, we can. I guess we could determine the crowd line by, but nowadays any UFC fighter gets a crowd line. To be honest, like Charles Oliveira just had a huge crowd line when Fu was in LA. Taking pictures with Charles Oliveira. DC had a line and everything, but like we're talking about like we need guys like Connor's a guy you need like security with. You know what I mean? He's a controversial figure. He's very popular, and just like he's not going to be the type of guy who's going to
But
do a random signing. You know what I mean?
yeah, but I think this is what his comment is exactly what we're saying about superstar level. You know, obviously, if you're going to an MMA, whatever those things are called, where you're gonna go meet MMA fighters, I would assume there'll be a line. You know, but everybody on that line are people who watch the sport. We're talking about people who don't watch the sport outside of the sport.
Tom Aspinall line match short, probably is, to be honest. But
yeah, I mean, and this is not so. John Jones is, I mean, obviously he's one of the biggest stars in MMA. I guess the point that was being made was like a guy like Conor transcends sport, like where you have football players, basketball players, professional NBA and NFL guys, and TV media personalities who are like, who the fuck is that guy? Like when these pop culture figures are adopting things that he did because he's such a polarizing icon for the sport, and he propelled it to a place that it is in today where it's more mainstream, and obviously John Jones is a star. We know he's a star, but like when there's only a couple fighters who have ever broken the mold like Conor, actually none who have broken the mold like Conor, but then you got a Ronda Rousey who did what she did for women's MMA. Those are groundbreaking people, and of course, John Jones is the GOAT in my opinion. I know some people don't like that, but he's a star in my opinion. Hey, plain and simple, but it's different than what Conor is for sure.
Yeah.
Like we said, it's superstar. We're talking about breaking the mold. Like, dude, Conor has a DLC in Call of Duty. Like, I don't see anybody fighting having that.
I said John Jones DLC.
I don't see John Jones DLC. I don't see any other fighter DLC, to be honest. Like, so, guys like Conor get more special treatment than most fighters. Yeah, Jones gets his special treatment, but like Conor's been in the UFC less than Jones, and he gets way better treatment, way more money, gets to do whatever he wants outside of the UFC. So,
and besides Conor's, being the first to get double champ, John Jones' accolades are way more.
Yeah, John Jones is way
than Conor's accolades in the sport.
And let's be real, like John Jones should have been the superstar of
the
UFC.
Deal.
But he kind of fucked it up for himself too in the beginning, especially when the UFC needed a guy like Jones.
Yeah.
And then came along.
We would have been singing a whole different tune if he would have just kept his head on straight.
This is not to diminish his accomplishments. It's just like it's just how the fan base is.
I don't like
we're basing it. Yeah, he's the GOAT, but we just we're determining on like the fan base and like everything else that goes outside of sport. Because like, dude, we had a McGregor fan base during the time. And what elevated Conor was just like his rivalry with Khabib, because now you have the Irish fan versus the Dagestani fans, which is still going on today, crazy enough. And it's like you have events like PFL doing Ireland versus Dagestan Part 2. So stuff like that like really shows like what Conor did to elevate the sport and everything like that. And just, bro, he's just nobody can be on his level. So
I wouldn't even be surprised if Conor's fame was so big that they was even willing to elevate that event that he had nothing to do with.
Dude, Conor could say the most
because of the history. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how crazy it shit is.
I mean, dude, like where's John Jones' documentary? Conor McGregor got a Netflix documentary. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
John Jones have had a documentary already. If not, they should have been more talked about. Do guys still talk about Conor McGregor to this day more than John Jones, which is crazy. It's sad because Jones, he should have had the career Conor had, but Conor took it. Like you can't hate the man. You can't hate the game.
to be fair, when it's all said and done, when like, and this is an example that I give, and obviously it's a little bit different, but with like a guy like Russell Westbrook in the NBA, like when in 30, 40 years, when people are looking at the paper and they see John Jones, they're going to be like, what the fuck? This guy did this. They're going to be like, God damn, boy. So he's already in the sport of MMA. He's immortalized. And for years to come, he will be brought up in conversations that have to do with mixed martial arts.
Is Floyd
or
or
Connor?
Connor?
I have to go Connor. I think I'll go
Probably
Connor.
Connor. I mean, boxing traditionally does bigger sales than MMA. I mean, obviously, it has a much longer, deeper rooted history.
Yeah.
So, Floyd's at an advantage being in a solidified, cemented sport that it was popular long before mixed martial arts was even,
Dude,
nationally recognized.
if
So,
Connor wasn't the star that he was, Floyd would have never fought him.
Exactly.
He would have never put that together. So think
shout
about
out to
that.
Fu. Welcome to the stream. Glad to have you on.
My guy.
Just in time for the main event.
But
Phil's on a marathon today. I'm glad I was able to catch the end of his. He's been on a live marathon, dude. I've watched him all day today.
Like I said, I've been getting more comfortable on camera. Like I know I've been saying it for years, but like you gotta do when you're ready, like especially when you have the equipment and everything, you figure things out. I don't like to put out a shitty product. That is my thing. So I make sure my boys, you guys, the viewers, whatever, you make sure they get at least a decent enough product for me to put on. So I appreciate that. And Floyd doesn't have any Call of Duty add-ons or Netflix stuff. You're right, because Connor's the biggest star. It's just it is what it is. Like Mike said, Floyd already had the base of boxing. Right, there's already stars before Floyd Mayweather, like Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, a bunch of guys in the '90s to set up for Floyd to have success. Rather, there was De La Hoya. Whether the guys before Connor, who there really was, like there was Jones, there was Anderson, GSP, but they weren't breaking the barriers. Connor just took the WWE playbook and just said, I'm gonna run it over here. I'm gonna talk my shit.
I mean, we can even say Chuck got a little close.
I don't know, like Chuck did have the look and everything.
It was just all different, though. It was all different.
But before Connor, there was Brock. Let's pay respect to Brock Lesnar. Yeah. But he had a base already. Like he was a WWE superstar.
He was already
got a title fight, so he's already established. Connor is a working man from Ireland that talked his shit into fights, and he backed it up every single time until he ran into some people. But and when people fought Connor, their names got bigger as well.
Yep.
And the ones that beat Connor, especially Nate Diaz, made a name off Conor McGregor. Dustin Poirier's fame grew a little higher after. Khabib's name got bigger.
It's a cult following, It's not like I think that's what it is. And like he made that cult following, like fighting Connor, it made it like come out to like light, mainstream kind of, but not mainstream enough. But I think Connor,
fancy night.
Floyd is a bigger draw than Connor with worse undercards. I mean, there's more stars in boxing, right?
Dude, that Connor and Donald Cerrone card was trash.
Yeah.
Like, think about that card. That card was fucking trash. And
think about it.
That card probably hit millions pay-per-view buys.
The only reason, like, Mighty Mouse had a pay-per-view that did like 800,000, and everybody knows that's not Mighty Mouse. Conor McGregor was the third fight in that card, and everybody was talking about Conor McGregor that night. So I respect what Floyd did. Like, he made it. Like, he didn't need the best undercard, but that's just boxing all around. So people just pay for the top. You got to separate boxing fans from MMA fans too. MMA cards are usually better as well. Nowadays, boxing cards are better. Now MMA cards are shit, which is kind of crazy to talk about.
The tides are changing.
The tides are changing because now, like, the fucking Saudi man is freaking making the cards.
A-Rab money.
Yeah, the A-Rab money's been helping out boxing a lot, which I love to see. But let's stay on track because, like, great discussion. I appreciate that, Terrence. Thanks for bringing all those up. I know we talk in the chat a lot, but thank you for letting me talk about it on the live stream. But let's go to the heartbreaker of the night. I guess most guys.
I was trying to avoid this. I was trying to let's deter from the plot. Now we're back.
Israel Adesanya versus Nassourdine Imavov. So Imavov comes in as a plus 136 underdog, close on the odds. Izzy's coming off 2 straight losses, and I believe Imavov's coming off 3 straight wins. So Imavov finishes Izzy in the second round. Since Fu, you just joined, give us your thoughts on this fight.
I was shocked. I saw he started with trying to take him down, and then he caught him a couple times. But I mean, I'm as shocked as everybody else. I saw Izzy. He when they showed before, he was relaxed. But yeah, I'm still shocked. I still haven't recovered. But I mean, he's the real deal. What are we gonna do? We got to move on from this. We have to pay our respects to the winner.
Yes, sir.
And,
Jay.
I don't know.
Give me a second.
Oh yeah. Do you need the shades back on? Because I know you better tear up a little bit.
Honestly, man, I was just.
Wait, can I cut you off real quick?
Yeah.
If you take the hat off, maybe you look like Nassourdine Imavov. I ain't going front. Like you guys kind of twinning right now.
You want me to shake the beard down a little bit?
Nah, you good. All right, continue.
Nah, honestly, I was, I had to I paused for a second. I was like, what the fuck? Like, I think Izzy did really well round one. I was actually surprised of how good his takedown defense was. Because I feel like usually he just gives up when they shoot the takedown on him. But, yeah, I'd even shout out to Imavov. I mean, he did his thing, man. He got the job done. I'm heartbroken, but I think maybe it's about that time we get some new, some new stars in the middleweight division. And we got DDP and Strickland fighting. I'm not too happy. I'm not too excited about that fight, but I think we probably need some new blood.
All right, Mike.
Yeah, I was nervous about this fight. I felt like Israel Adesanya, could come in and still make a good showing, which he was doing initially. He looked fast. There was that little uppercut, shovel hook that Imavov threw, landed right on the chin. Izzy was able to eat it and return strikes.
Yeah.
He was doing well, and his takedown defense was holding up. It was going pretty well until it wasn't. And at the end of the day, I know the 35 and over curse is only welterweight and under, but Izzy has taken some damage at this point. He's been dominant for a very long time. 35 years old, fighting, I believe Imavov is 29. So this guy's a lot younger. The trajectories are moving differently. As Phil said, Izzy's coming in on a 2-fight losing streak. Imavov is coming in on a multi-fight win streak. And, it's kind of just like the turning of the tide. It's looking like it's an end of an era in the middleweight division. And with the way everything's working out right now, you got, for me, like, check it out. If Imavov just won, this is what I want with Imavov, because you got DDP fighting Strickland, and then you got Khamzat Chimaev, who's waiting for a title shot. So, in my opinion, I don't want to say that Imavov needs one more, but is he really going to wait for Strickland and DDP to recover, and then Khamzat, and then him? I feel like in my opinion, he needs one more. And this might be unfair to Imavov, but I would really, really love to watch Nassourdine Imavov fight Anthony Hernandez. And that could be unfair, but I feel like Anthony Hernandez is live, bro. But back to the fight.
I guess.
Let's go, Fluffy.
Yeah.
Imavov looked good, and he's younger. You could tell as you could see his physique. He's clearly dedicated to what he's doing. All respect to Izzy, though. He's one of the most dominant champions we've ever seen. And I don't think this damages anything for his legacy. It is what it is. At least he didn't get violently flatlined, So
Yeah.
I was sad as shit, though, bro. When it happened, I got hot. I was nervous. I was like, bro, I'm upset, bro.
Yeah.
I think the thing is now we're really getting into the next era of the UFC, really. Because we're seeing guys like Israel Adesanya and Robert Whittaker getting beat. They're getting beat so quick, to be honest, like the first 2 rounds. And then we're getting guys like Volk and Max Holloway getting finished, by guys like Ilia Topuria. And now we're in the Marab era. And then on a light heavyweight, like we were still in the Alex Pereira era right now. Heavyweight, like we don't know if Jones or Aspinall is going to be the guy at the top by the end of the year. So this is like we still got a couple. Well, Jones is still from the 2000s era that's left.
Yeah.
But like everybody else is like at least right after COVID, those guys are kind of like falling
MVP,
off,
bro.
I guess.
MVP.
Shout out to MVP.
He broke the 35 curse too.
Yeah, just we're in that new era now.
Yep.
So
That's
it's
facts,
kind of
though.
crazy to see Izzy like 3-fight losing streak. We've been rocking with him for a while. Like if he's especially his kickboxing days with Glory in his rivalry with Alex Pereira before he came to the UFC. And then I'll never forget when Izzy when he fought Kelvin Gastelum. That fight was like, yo, he put himself on the map with that fight. So he made himself into a big superstar that you either hate him or love him, but you're always gonna respect what he did. He's probably the second greatest middleweight of all time. I still hold Anderson Silva number one, but it sucks. But at the end of the day, it's the fight game. You know, sounds
eventually it happens to everybody. You know,
fight game is
you
unforgiving.
you get lucky like Khabib. You know, you might just leave and never come back.
Bro, fuck. Hey, but let's not forget Izzy went up, you know, to fight Jan. So
yeah,
like that was a big obviously I still have him at number 2. Like after his like last 3 fights, you go back and you rethink and you're like, yeah, Spider Silva had a better run, you know, like toward the end. But fuck it, dude. Fucking Izzy still, you know, the Undertaker walkout memories, dude. Like the homie Mick said, end of an era, man. So it's crazy, you know. It's insane.
Right. So props to Imavov. I don't think he gets the next title shot. Obviously Khamzat. I don't think that the UFC would be smart enough to book Imavov against Khamzat. But if we were talking about like him getting a win over a former champ. So one more big fight for him. Man.
So I have a question though. So which win stacks up higher? A win against Whitaker or a win against Adesanya?
For who?
For each fighter, because you were saying Khamzat gets the title shot, right?
So Khamzat will get the title shot, and then Imavov will get probably the loser of the title fight.
Yeah, that's what I would think. But I understand what you're saying as well, Jay. I feel like, I mean, the way that Khamzat beat Whitaker in the first round, and he broke his jaw in with a choke, even though we have found out that he has had issues with the front jaw in the past. The way that it happened, there was no success on the side of Robert Whitaker. Israel Adesanya looked good. I gave Izzy round 1, and obviously, we saw what happened. But in terms of domination, what happened to Robert Whitaker is ridiculous. And yeah, exactly. Khamzat is undefeated. So it's been a long time coming. We need to get him in there for a title fight before he has some sort of medical issue arise and he's out for another however long. So the fans have been wanting it. Undefeated up and comer at middleweight.
The weather's changing, bro. Might catch a cold.
Yeah. So it's time for Khamzat after this one.
It's Khamzat time. And here's a guy that could be legitimately like a superstar. Like this is a guy that could be like bigger than most guys, but like, he might be like the he has like the perfect persona, to be honest. He's very Khabib-ish when he fights, I guess you can say, because like that's what fans like to see. You know, he has the Russian following, those Dagestani following. You know, he's not Dagestani.
Yeah,
but
and he's in Sweden, so like he's got everything like going towards.
He has that fight style that everybody wants to see. Just a monster. You know what I mean? He's a monster when he gets in there.
Finisher for sure.
Friends with Darren Till, so he's got the Liverpool crowd. Like he knows how to market himself pretty good.
Yeah, he's a very good marketing machine. So he's like next superstar.
He's massive
if he can stay healthy. If he can stay healthy, like Khamzat's the guy. But like also we've seen Khamzat like had some not the best fights, I guess you can say. Especially his fight against Kamaru Usman. You know, he had a great fight against Gilbert Burns, but he also got not exposed, but like, you know, you see he has some weaknesses in that fight. So
he could have lost to Burns, putting himself up there, like going like fucking fire to fire, like, you know, stand toe to toe with.
It shows that he's willing to go fire to fire with somebody.
That was crazy, bro.
But but now his career is at 185, so he's more rejuvenated and everything. So what he did to Robert Whitaker was impressive. So like seeing him possibly dominate the middleweight division, because I can see him being Izzy. I can see him being Drickus, to be honest.
Dude, I want DDP and Khamzat, bro, because it's killer versus somehow unable to be killed. So it's like immovable. It's like unstoppable force meets immovable object, bro. Like
something that makes sense versus something that doesn't make sense.
Dude, it's so funny. Like, you ever watch like his I'm pretty sure, Mike, you sat down and try to study DDP. Like, dude, I don't know what the fuck he does good. I think he's just like, I don't know, dude, bro. It's weird.
Bro, he's a testament. Weird. like technical skills can get you very, very far. But then people forget at the end of the day, it's a fight. And I remember back in the day, I'd be like, yeah, I'm nice, bro. And then you got guys who are just different. And it's like this guy, he just fucks people up. And it's like, that's kind of what DDP is. Even against Izzy. Izzy was eating the body. You see, he's completely gassed out. He's on death's door. And then 30 seconds later, it's back. And then it's gone again. And then it's back. And it's like, this dude just has these bursts of energy, and his will to win is incredible. And to me, that intangible that he has, where he just is undeniable. And
dude, whatever that's called, that's what I want.
Yeah.
Izzy, Izzy said it best. Is like he took him down, he got up, and as soon as he's about to set up his shot, whatever, he just see Drix just go, and it's just like. And he's like, "What the fuck was that?" Like, you know what I mean? He's just like, he's already ready to throw something, and like, it doesn't even look clean at all.
He's
like
athletic, and he has a heart. He has got heart, bro. Like, he's got everything. Like, you can build a fighter, except technique.
Yeah, bro. When Drickus fell flat on his face trying to get to Izzy, and you're like, "Oh, what the fuck? This guy's dying!" And then his arm is just somehow on Izzy's ankle, and then he gets the takedown. It's like, bro, what?
Dude, I don't know. Like, he's like a drunk fighter. I don't know what it is. He's like the embodiment of Jackie Chan's Drunken Master. Like, that is DDP right there.
Right.
Style that doesn't make any sense. It just works, man.
When he got Bobby Knuckles, bro, that's when I was like, what the fuck?
Yo, he looked good against Bobby Knuckles. I can't lie.
Dude.
Like,
bro, he had an arm through him. I'm like, bro, what? He's just tanking through the middleweight division, bro.
Dude, Bobby Knuckles said it best.
Bro.
He was like, bro, it was like, you know, you look slow, and then once you get hit, you just like, oh crap. You know what I mean? And now he's just like, oh, well, I got my ass beat. So, yeah. So Izzy and him.
After the Izzy fight, I said, yo, I'm never talking shit about this dude again, bro. Like,
yeah.
Next fight, I'm going DDP all the way. Fuck Strickland. Get this motherfucker out of here,
bro. For real, I thought Strickland beat DDP, and I still think that. And I'm at the point now where I'm like, bro, I feel like DDP's about to beat Sean Strickland's ass, bro. I feel like he's about to fuck him up this time.
Yeah, but
Strickland's not a champion.
DDP, yeah, he's definitely the worst best fighter I've ever seen in my life. Because he doesn't make any sense. Like, you can't bet against the man. He's like the Kansas City Chiefs. You just can't bet against the man.
You know, like when you see a fighter who has like really good stand-up and they look beautiful, but you know they lose because you know they don't got no grappling or whatever.
Yeah.
Like
Peyton Talbot.
This dude doesn't have. I don't like his stand-up is fucking atrocious. That's like the worst shit I've ever seen. His grappling is like almost like by mistake. You know, like you said, like he fucking fell to his face and still fucking had this dude ankle somehow, some way. It's just like, dude, what the fuck?
And the closest anyone has ever been to beating him is round 2, wash Darren Till. Beat the shit out
I was gonna say that.
Yo, he beat the shit out of DDP in round 2.
Dude.
That was crazy, bro.
But you know why I never believed,
bro. I was at that fight.
I never believed DDP was gonna be champion, right? So here's a funny story. So the first UFC card I bought, right, was the Dricus du Plessis rookie card. And I just thought, hey, undefeated fighter. I never really watched him fight, so I'm just gonna fucking buy it. $40 down the drain, right? And then I seen him fight against Brad Tavares. And I'm just like, yo, this guy sucks, bro. I'm just said to myself, this guy sucks. And I'm like, bro, I just dropped $40 on his card. Why did I just buy a card without doing any like research on it? But he came back and won. I'm like, all right, he got some heart. And then he fights Derek Brunson. I'm like, yeah, this dude definitely sucks. Like, this guy's not a champion material. Like, yeah, Derek Brunson gassed himself out and then got his ass beat in the second round. I'm like, yeah, this guy's not a champion.
No, he got
who else? And he fights Darren Till. And I'm talking my shit, just being like, Darren Till's gonna fuck this dude. Dricus du Plessis is so overrated. First minute of the fight, this motherfucker Darren Till's getting his ass beat. I'm like, what the fuck? All right, maybe he's not that bad. And then he's like, nah, he's gonna gas out. He's gonna gas out. And then second round, the dude gets his ass beat. I'm like, dude, this dude's cooked. He's done. Third round, fucking submits. I'm like, all right, Darren Till. Maybe Darren Till just fucking sucks. Let's just leave it as that.
Yeah.
And then he goes and fight Robert Whittaker. And then I remember the talk of talk on MMA Twitter was just like, dude, why would you do that, dude? Like, you should have given him the title shot after. You know what I mean? Dricus and Izzy have a rivalry right now. They're talking shit to each other. Africa versus Africa. And then they get Robert Whitaker. Like, oh, they just killed off a contender. UFC International Fight Week, July 2023, I think, or 2022. Yo, this man gets no surgery, beats the fuck out of Robert Whitaker, and everybody's like, all right. You know
I
what?
bet
This
on him
guy's
in that
legit.
fight, bro. By knockout, I
remember, dude. He was like a plus 265 underdog as Whitaker, and I was thinking to myself, like, why is it not higher? You know? And yeah, so can't bet against Dricus du Plessis, to be honest. Like he's proved us a lot of us wrong. Continues.
He's like a Tom Brady, bro. Like that's how I was with Tom Brady. Like fuck, Tom Brady. Like you can't.
Don't disrespect, all right? From this part, don't ever say that.
I don't even get.
Yo, you from LA? You from LA? You got like two teams in every sport.
Yeah.
Don't ever disrespect Tom Brady like that.
I'm still.
I'm just saying, you never bet against. You learn not to bet against some people like the hard way, you know.
Yeah, I can see your comparison, but he ain't no Tom Brady. Don't ever disrespect.
No,
that's a 7-time Super Bowl champion right there. Only New Englanders know. He might have got 6 for us.
You know what would be crazy about all this, right? If DDP ends up being the greatest middleweight of all time.
Stop,
Jay. Shut up, bro.
It could happen.
Somehow.
It could happen.
Dude.
Bro,
somehow, some way, DDP goes down in history. Fucking 10 years from now, motherfucker just never loses and shit. Like, I'm telling you, bro. Like
5 years from now, I don't think 10's a lot. Maybe 5 years from now. Like,
who's the worst? Who's the worst GOAT of all time?
I think that we have to say that for. I think Fluffy beats fucking
GOAT of all time. And that's a good question. Worst GOAT of all time.
Stipe.
Well, any era, right?
Stipe,
yeah, no, it has to be the GOAT of the division, like
Stipe. Yeah, I agree with Mike. Stipe.
I mean, at least he was entertaining. Like I always thought GSP was boring,
but there's so many heavyweights
though.
When we say worst, what are we saying about worst? Like skill wise.
Well, what is your definition? Just say your worst, and then I'll give you my reasonings. You give me your reasonings or whatever.
My worst GOAT of all time. I would say. I'm trying to think.
Lionel Messi.
What the fuck?
What?
Combat sports.
MMA,
UFC.
dude.
That was funny.
I don't even know because I guess heavyweight would be like the only division where like a champion isn't really champion.
Yeah, but like
GOAT, there's not too many GOATs. There's only like 5 GOATs, bro. Like 6 GOATs. Like so narrowed it down pretty much, you know.
People would like argue, what's it called? Like the worst GOAT was probably, I don't know. I mean, because it is tough. But I mean, if you want to go to the women's division, I guess, because based off of like skills of the opponents,
Ronda.
But
yeah.
Hey man, we got shout out to my homie Tyreek, man. Fucking Ronda Rousey easily the worst GOAT. I mean,
yeah,
you might have a point. Like we know,
yeah.
For sure. She was one-dimensional. So once she was able to be figured out, you know, girls don't get taken down, or she thought she was invincible against Holly Holm and went to go strike with her, got smoked. Amanda Nunes couldn't get her down, got smoked. So, you know, she was a one-trick pony, you know, probably the least well-rounded, that's for sure. So if you want to say that's the worst GOAT, I mean, probably.
Yeah. You could probably, at that point, you could say Royce Gracie too, then.
No,
but he wouldn't be the GOAT, though.
He's just a pioneer, to be honest.
He's a pioneer. I wouldn't say GOAT.
Okay.
You got to think about the guys that was like part of the modern era, not the early UFC days.
I feel like it's kind of hard to judge that era so much since, like,
I can tell you the most underrated one is Mighty Mouse. All right off the bat.
Oh, of course.
A lot of guys, he's definitely top 3 in my eyes. So
she's top 2 probably. His skill set is incredible.
Yeah. I mean, I'm in like Anderson Silva is my idol no matter what, but I would say John Jones, Mighty Mouse.
Ronda is a pioneer. Ronda's a pioneer for the women's, but the thing about Royce Gracie is I wouldn't say, I mean, I guess Ronda's not a GOAT at this point anymore either.
Yeah, I mean, Amanda Nunes kind of took that from her.
Yeah.
Yeah, Amanda Nunes is the GOAT. Yeah, facts.
Yeah, so I guess. Shit.
I mean, the thing is, we had to declare Ronda because she was the only one really doing anything in that division.
Only star we had, you know, so.
I mean, Royce Gracie just from my early UFC tournament days against
but
guys
Stipe
who were just
lost a little
one-dimensional.
Cormier. You know, like Cormier,
Cormier's him,
came
though.
up.
No, Cormier's
If it
legit.
weren't for John
Cormier's
Jones,
him, bro.
Cormier might be referred to as the GOAT right now, you know?
Yep.
Yeah,
because he only lost against 2 guys, I believe, which is Jones and Stipe.
Jones and Stipe.
So he only lost to the GOATs of each division. So like respect to him. If those guys weren't there, he would be the GOAT. But right now, those guys are just too good at the time.
But he did beat Stipe, so
Yeah,
maybe
but,
that's why Stipe would be probably like mixed.
if you're going to
The
men's,
least.
it has to be Stipe because he has the least title defenses. I mean, he has great wins in my eyes, but you know, like skill set wise, like the other guys below him are obviously gonna be way better. But yeah. Sorry, Stipe. We love you, but kind of the worst GOAT, I guess you could put it.
That's not a bad thing, bro. That's not a bad thing.
So Dana White was on the press conference today, and he's got some things to say. He said, White says Adesanya. Actually, let me put it on the screen for y'all. Aaron Bronstetter actually tweeted it out, so appreciate guys like him. Let me know if you need to zoom in.
How about
No.
Yeah, I cannot read that, Jing.
How about now?
Yeah, it's better.
So Dana White speaks to the media, says Adesanya looked incredible until he got caught. Getting caught is getting caught, and says you couldn't have fought a better first round than Adesanya. Dismiss the idea that he's done. Do you think Adesanya's done or not?
I don't need to see him go out like Chuck Liddell, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see a title run.
Who does he fight, bro? Imagine if they try to give him Fluffy and then he gets fucking brutally mauled.
Yeah.
Nah, Fluffy's got to move up. You got to have a. Damn, that's tough.
Who the fuck's he gonna fight, bro? I just don't want to see him get starched, man. Because that chin is, you know, it can only withstand so much damage. Now I want to see him get spun around like Chuck.
He's got finished in his last 2 fights, so he's already like 36. So maybe a move to 205, but like I wouldn't like that for him.
He's gonna get clapped up there too.
I mean, against who? To be honest, like
oh, fuck around and put him against. Oh, God, I'm tired as fuck, bro. I barely slept.
All right, we got like 10 minutes on here then. White called Pavlich and Rosen said a horrible fight. Said it was thought it wasn't pretty. Pavlich won at the end of the day and Styles make fight.
Dana don't lie unless he's talking about power slam.
Nah, everybody knows that's facts, bro. He could have not like the fact that Pavlovich just like caught him a couple times, but then he shot for the takedown. Like, come on, dude.
Yeah,
should have finished it in round 1.
Yeah, you got to go for the finish. Like,
I definitely believe it was like that's it. It's like that confidence. You don't got that confidence back yet. It's like when Ngannou lost, right? And then his next fight was against Derek Lewis. Fucking worst fight I've ever seen in my life. You know, like he lost that confidence.
White says that he's confident that Khamzat Chimaev will be able to fight in the United States going forward, as he should, man. Like I said, he's the next superstar. They can get it right. So Khamzat gets the winner, Dricus du Plessis.
Yeah, we need that.
White does not hate the idea of Leon versus MVP in the UK.
Oh,
that's a fucking.
They're not boys. They're not boys, right? I thought they were boys.
I don't think the boys like that.
Nah, bro. MVP said he already wanted smoke. I'm pretty sure.
White says the UFC goes to Spain. They are probably going to have to do a stadium show because they don't have the right type of arenas. That's cool.
Ooh, MVP Adesanya, bro. Ooh,
some hot fight.
They boys.
Hasn't gotten a fight recently. He's more confident than being advertised. But yeah, that's some of it for now. But I mean, we can talk
like
about
watching them the post fight with Dana.
Got a couple comments before we head out. Is Usman a GOAT? He's the worst. He's arguably the second best welterweight.
Yeah.
But the issue with him is that he fought a lot of the same guys in his run. Yeah. So a lot of rematches. That's like my same gripe with Volk too. Just like a lot of guys just fighting the same guys at the top.
It's not his fault though. Who wins?
It's
Usman or GSP? Prime for prime. Tell me.
Prime. GSP fixing.
You think?
Yeah.
Bro, I feel like Usman has too much power.
GSP.
No, GSP's like a Hamza like type beat, you know.
He was just
Usman
good.
has that wrestling too, though.
GSP was just good everywhere, bro.
I could see Usman winning, to be honest, just because like we seen GSP versus Johnny Hendricks, and then when he faces like elite like wrestler, he can obviously Hendricks can like stuff the takedowns, and Hendricks had power too, but so does Usman. So it's tough. Like I don't think it's one sided
like Johnny Hendricks.
Usman put Jorge to sleep.
Yeah,
but he doesn't crack like Johnny Hendricks. I seen Johnny Hendricks send somebody from one side to the other.
Yeah, he was blowing people back, bro.
But
Tyron Woodley, bro.
I don't think Usman's a GOAT, but he's definitely one of the best welterweights of all time.
Yeah,
GOAT is
I'll
like
give. I mean that he might not be the second best for a while. So
yeah.
And you can't have two goats in one division. Bro. What did he say? Oh, stop it.
Dude, remember the name. You heard?
Yeah. I hope we don't.
The name.
Yo, Joe Rogan didn't know his name. Joe Rogan didn't know his name.
He's gonna whip Shavkat's ass. It's over.
He might. He actually might.
Izzy Strickland too. If Strickland loses again, then I can see that.
If they lose, I can see that. I'll see that. I can see that fight. I'll watch it.
Hendricks was roided off the gills. Yeah.
He was.
Yeah.
Ian Gary champ at 2025.
Could happen, man. GSP is the better overall fight, in my opinion. I agree, my brother.
Yeah, hell yeah.
But other than that, like we got UFC 312 in Perth, Australia next week. So that's gonna be a headline by obviously Dricus du Plessis versus Sean Strickland, co-main event, Zhang Weili versus Tatiana Suarez. The undercard is looking like an Apex card, so we don't need to talk about all that. Give me your predictions for Zhang Weili versus Tatiana Suarez, Mike.
That's a tough one, man. I really want to pick Zhang Weili, but I also feel like it's hard to go against Tatiana Suarez. It's really going to be whether or not Tatiana can get her down. Obviously, she's going to want to work the grappling. I'll probably lean Zhang Weili. She is getting a little older, but we see that matters less in women's fighting than it does in men's. And Tatiana Suarez, she's great. She's a very talented fighter. She trains with the boy Patchy Mix. She's got the super guillotine submission game goes crazy. But Zhang Weili is very, very good, and she hits very hard. So I see Tatiana having a lot of trouble. I'll lean Zhang Weili, but I got to look into it a little bit more.
I'm going Suarez, man. I'm going Suarez. I don't know. I feel like she might be too big for Zhang Weili. Might be too much for her. It's gonna take her down. Maybe a little Patchy Mix backpack. You know what I'm saying? Real naked choke. Call it a day. Second round. I see it.
Who?
Yeah, I got Suarez, man. It's been a long time coming. No injury. She was supposed to fight. What's her name? Jandra Rope. Forgot her name. Verna. And the fight got canceled. They tried to say that it was an injury. Like you saw the media being spread out. Nobody knew what happened, but she got a title shot. That's what had happened, and I think they did it for a reason. And I think she will be champ soon. I mean, she didn't get a title shot, but she got a road to the title shot.
I'm rooting for her. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. It's a hard fight, but I think her wrestling should do it. She can out wrestle, and we'll see.
Tatiana's been through a lot in her career, especially with all those injuries. Being hyped up as the female could be for the longest time,
She had cancer, bro, didn't she? She beat cancer.
I believe so, yeah. But
really?
I believe so. And then she had a documentary come out about her not too long ago. I think it's on HBO Max.
Unbreakable, right? Something like that?
Unbreakable, yes, correct.
Big fan.
But if I'm gonna go with someone, I'm gonna go with Zhang Weili. Like I seen Tatiana's stand up is not that impressive. Her ground game's impressive, but like, can she keep a girl like Zhang Weili on the ground? Zhang Weili's more, I guess, active. You can say. Well, she hasn't been active as of lately, but like, she already has 2 title defenses, if I'm correct. I think she's gonna be the champ that runs the division for a while until she runs into somebody else. I like Tatiana Suarez. I feel like she's big for the division, so maybe a loss could make her move up to 125. So that's something I would like to see for Tatiana Suarez. So I'm thinking Zhang Weili gets it done. Unanimous decision. And now we can move on to the main event. All right, here's everybody's favorite main event. Like Dricus du Plessis, Sean Strickland 2. The people's main event, I guess you can say, right? America versus South Africa in Australia. That's what we're doing it. So Dricus won the first fight against Sean Strickland in Canada by split decision. Now it was controversial because a lot of people thought Sean Strickland won, a lot of people thought Dricus won, and I remember our chat was pretty hot that night because I remember Mike was like, "Nah, this is a robbery. This is Sean Strickland's win." I thought Dricus edged it out 3-2. I don't remember what Jay and Fu said. So, Fu, what did you score that first fight for?
I had Strickland, bro.
Okay, Jay.
Yeah.
I believe I had DDP.
So yeah, I had DDP. Yeah. So I guess we're half and half in this chat because Mike was a very advocate that.
Hey, well,
Mike was very.
So there's a lot of close fights that I don't call robberies. Though sometimes in a close fight like that, I can say robbery because of a certain.
I beg to differ.
When I see the way that the fight ends, so check it out. I see the scorecards. On all three judges' scorecards, Dricus du Plessis was given round 2, and in round 2, the scrambling exchanges were even, the strike total counts were even. But the one thing that happened in round 2 is that with a punch, Sean Strickland closed DDP's eye. He, in a round that was very, very close, he closed the eye of Dricus du Plessis, damage with a strike. So in my opinion, that won the round for Sean Strickland, the damage that happened there in a very close round. And none of the judges gave it to him. Had that happened, that's a unanimous decision for Sean Strickland. But I think DDP beats his ass in the rematch. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, I'm going DDP all the way by whatever weird shit that he's going to do is going to happen. I don't know. He's going to do some weird shit. I don't know. He might land a fucking up kick backwards or some shit. I don't know, but he's winning.
Yeah, man. The way shit's been going. Sorry, just real quick. The way things have been going. I mean, you see what's going on with Sean Strickland. Like he's doing his classic. He's ranting. People call it whining. He's just he's got a lot of things, and who's to say if this is true or not, but it seems like he has a lot of things distracting him right now. And DDP seems to be locked in. He has the championship aura, so he has a lot of momentum going into this fight.
Who?
It reminds me of when Wolverine, I don't know if you guys ever play a Marvel versus Street Fighter, when he does the Berserker Barrage.
Yep.
Rushes like that. I got DDP, man. Fuck, dude. I think he'll adapt better. I think Strickland he's too much involved mentally in other shit than the fight game. I get it. He's hard-headed, but no, it's different, he's too mentally, the fact that he tries to say he's mentally strong, it shows that he's mentally weak. So DDP, he's going to grind it out, dude. He's going to keep coming forward, keep putting the pressure, and I see him, and still. I
agree.
I see easily and still.
I think, there's much distractions coming from Sean Strickland's side, so I think DDP gets it done. I think he finishes Strickland this time. Gets him on the ground, finishes him on the feet or whatever. It's going to be a TKO stoppage. I'm going to lean maybe under 3.5 rounds. I think this is a different type of DDP. So, yeah, Jay just turned sideways. So, DDP seems like all of us are picking DDP to win this match. But hopefully it's a good one, to be honest. Even though this card is trash on paper, let's hope it's a great card, to be honest.
I feel like it's going to be a great card. I honestly, after today, I feel like it's going to be a great card.
These be the ones, bro. These be the ones. It's bro, this whole shit looks like a prelim. Everything looks like prelim, and the prelims aren't bad. But the 3 fights before the co-main and the main are are you fucking kidding me? But I guarantee, I don't guarantee it, but I bet you this card delivers.
They could have taken the 3 fights from this main card from UFC Saudi Arabia and just put it on the UFC pay-per-view. And I'm hey, it's a great pay-per-view. I'm not gonna argue against that. But so DDP for the win. I think all of us are riding with DDP. Or betting man might say, what's the betting man Mike would say?
Shit, bro. I mean, you would think DDP is gonna be if I had to guess, anywhere between minus 160, minus 225. I would put him as a parlay piece. I get nervous about him getting a finish. If he can finish on Strickland, that would be massive based on the first fight, very controversial. So now there is no questions if he gets a finish here. I'm not sure if I'll bet him to get a finish, but we'll see what happens. As the week goes on, we have time to do some research.
We're going to have a nice mix.
Question,
Mike,
how many middleweight main events are we getting in a row now?
Let's not talk about that because that's probably another year of middleweight Apex main events and everything. Because we're already getting Marvin Vettori versus Roman Dolidze 2, which nobody asked for. So yeah, screw that fight and screw this fight next week. But it's Super Bowl weekend next week, so we're getting the rematch between the Eagles and the Chiefs, and we're getting the rematch between Dricus du Plessis and Sean Strickland. And there's one thing that they both have in common: never bet against the one person or one team. Never bet against the Kansas City Chiefs. Never bet against Dricus du Plessis because they just somehow win.
Hey,
am I right?
Bars.
Chiefs
Bars.
money line, DDP money line, 2-leg parlay.
That's the play. So I appreciate everybody coming out. We're gonna watch David Benavidez versus David Morales Jr.
Royal Rumble.
Rumble. We locked in, baby. Let's go, baby. BKFC, Brendan Ward,
Also,
Parker Porter, Julian Lane. Let me bang, bro.
We got Sean Merriman.
It's a good
Lights
night.
Out. Sean Merriman's Lights Out. The weekend, the night before the Super Bowl, so it's gonna be lit. We got a lit week, you know. But tonight's gonna be litter.
It's a good night to enjoy some time with your friends, your family. You know, the boys in CSC will keep in contact through the group chat. Maybe we'll do a little live stream. I don't know. Probably not. You know, I think I've been my ass has been on this chair since like freaking 10 a.m. I would like to stand up.
I'm about to go eat some Indian food. You already know we're about to get lit.
Oh, bubble guts.
Best Indian dish. Best Indian dish right now.
I mean, I'm basic, bro. I kind of want some butter chicken. I'm not going cat. We're about to get a short. We're about to get a bunch of stuff though.
Butter chicken with garlic naan. That's how I like it with my little white rice with it. All right. I appreciate everybody. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Fu. Thank you, Jay. This is the Combat Sports Today post-fight stream. And we'll probably catch you in the next one, to be honest. We'll see how we feel. And we all got busy schedules. We got two dads here. Me and Mike are usually free Saturdays. But, you know, we like to kick it with the boys sometimes, you know. But maybe. Let's see how we feel next Saturday. But peace and love to all you guys. Thank you.